Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Avengers issue 48. And I really enjoyed this one because I didn't know what exactly they were going to be going for with doing the whole, Winter Guard She-Hulk kind of thing. But this was pretty interesting. We got a little bit more time with Gorilla Man, we got a little bit of a check-in on Echo, and we see what She-Hulk's kind of objectives are. So we get off and we see that Gorilla Man is pretty much drowning his sorrows at a bar, pretty much controlled by a villain nation because he hates what his life pretty much is. Talking about what it takes to kind of be a killer and seeing that kind of look in someone's eyes as they're pretty much dying, and that kind of childlike fear of that, and that he had seen that kind of look before 8 times before he went with the Gorilla Man. And with the Gorilla Man, he saw nothing but joy because of living how, yeah, you're living forever, but you're a gorilla, and people are either hunting you or not hunting you. And of course, in this Gorilla Man's case, people are not really hunting for him, and he's trying to kind of get that because he wants to be released. However, She-Hulk has other plans for that and goes into the bar, pretty much grabs him, and then the rest of the people are like, hey, he's ours. And then She-Hulk just pretty much unleashes her gamma breath on him, as we hear Gorilla Man pretty much talking about how sometimes you go through life and it's cosmically absurd and you see yourself changing more and more, becoming a person you more despise, and that the only person that kind of doesn't do that is Captain America, is his superpowers. That's an interesting kind of way to look at it. And we then shift outside and we see that Gorilla Man's trying to figure out what She-Hulk's objective is. That she's already cursed enough as it is, so killing him would be just fucking crazy. She-Hulk, that Winter Guard, Red Roomed She-Hulk with Gorilla Man powers plus Gamma powers. Holy crap! But we see that She-Hulk is dealing with the effects of being drained by vampires, and he's like, oh shit. We then cut to the aftermath that She-Hulk tore up Chernobyl because Dracula has been trying to gather up different kind of bloods. Makes sense, vampires. But Blade had also been in contact with Wolverine, and he was trying to take Wolverine's blood to make Daywalkers, and Blade's like, holy crap, she just came in like an F5 and just took this place to shit. Walking through, taking down some people, but also relaying the information to the Avengers, mainly T'Challa, and be like, yeah, they pretty much did this pretty right, man. It's holy crap, so we'll have to kind of see where she's going next. We shift over and see that T'Challa is pretty much trying to allay the fears of Echo, be like, yeah, we understand that you want to be useful and everything, and we're just dealing with some crazy ass shit right now. And then we see that, Thor is walking through and looks kind of not happy, but that she tries to get into it and be like, hey, listen, I might be the Phoenix, but I don't have all the access to her histories and all that, so if you want any answers, I can't really provide that. But then Thor looks at her and they're like, please stop talking, and he doesn't look pissed off at her or angry at her. It's that I really love that kind of panel, as you see that on his face. He's just like, please stop talking. He's still trying to work through it himself, and he understands that she's trying to help him. It's a crazy ass thing to learn that the Phoenix is your mom. And we'll see to the veracity of everything that goes on with that. So we get up and we go back to pretty much Gorilla Man and She-Hulk, and that they're pretty much trying to go to Atlantis. Gorilla Man's like, this is fucking insanity. What are you trying to do? Come on, Jennifer, you're in there somewhere. What is the end game goal here? So she just goes down and pretty much starts ripping through the Atlantean army, as a couple of them try to take on Gorilla Man. And he gets severely wounded and thinks that he's pretty much going to die, because these guys weren't really well versed with probably his curse. It's shit, you should pretty much check that before you're die all land dwellers kind of shit. Then we see She-Hulk pops back up, but it's really kind of weird because this one little panel has her looking kind of strange. I think it's to show that, like, Vostok has some stuff still in her, but it looks really weird. I don't know if it was supposed to show that she's wet or if it's got the Vostok stuff going through her, but it's like red with like some metal stuff going on. It's like really weird. Didn't get an explanation. And she was pretty much just checking on him and then went back down because Gorilla Man had pretty much said that, like, this is the Red Room's, like, piece de resistance in She-Hulk being broken by them because they'd utilize the vampires to kind of drain her, make her weaker, so that way they could break her more easily. And we see that we then shift and we see that Red Widow is talking about, she's beautiful, and she's going after a target to assassinate the King of Atlantis. But the true objective is with Red Widow and the rest of her group pretty much trying to wipe out the Atlantean race. It's like, shit. Holy fuck. I even think that, like, the majority of, like, the Winter Guard would have a problem with wiping out an entire people like that. I would assume, hopefully, because the Avengers are going to have to get in here and, like, change some shit up, and I hope that, well, we'll have to see how Jennifer gets back to herself, but I hope she doesn't, like, kill Namor, and I hope that she's able to help stop the Atlanteans from being, like, destroyed, because that would be a big kind of shakeup for the Atlantean race to be taken out like that. It's like, we got some big stakes here. So overall, I enjoyed this, really getting into Gorilla Man's head of where he's at, and that he didn't betray the Avengers lightly. Like, he didn't do it for any, like, monetary gain. He wanted the curse done with. And he could have just talked with them, but, of course, it's a very kind of complex issue, and I understand that he really didn't want to get into it with them. But they were his friends, and they probably could have helped him. So I like them kind of going more in depth in that, and also seeing that She-Hulk, even though she's still running through certain objectives within the Red Room's program, I'm not sure how much they wanted them to take out Dracula. Now, granted, I could see if they're trying to take out the Atlanteans like this, that they would probably also program that into She-Hulk to take out Dracula stuff as well, especially if he's got access to She-Hulk's Gamma Blood and is trying to get access to, like, Wolverine's. That's a whole other kind of ball game that they'd have to deal with, but I'm almost like that Jennifer wanted to kind of stop them herself as well, so that's where their two goals kind of align. But I'm really intrigued to see kind of where this kind of shakes out and how the Avengers are going to deal with this and what their battle plan is going to be. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.